Hello, my name is Laura and I'm polyamorous in life and in knitting. And this is a podcast mostly about my knitting. Welcome. This is episode 1 where I start to tell you about my knits. You can find me on Instagram as Polyamorous Knitter and on Ravelry as Onervainen. And now I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing now. This is an old knit from maybe 2020, and it is a different hat that I had last time, as you can clearly see. It is a 2x2 rib, or the whole hat is 2x2 rib, and it is knit on the same yarn as the last one, which is here. So it's not that different, but it is still different hat. And this is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, and it is a very well-known sweater, or sometimes a summer shirt even, if it's shorter and on lighter yarn. I have made this in yarn that I dyed myself, and it was the first time I dyed this multicolored yarn. So I think the color is fine. I like the black and gray and purplish blue, but it is pooling in here, as you can see. I don't like that effect so much, but I think that this was my practicing piece as a dyer and as a knitter. And as you could see last when I showed you, then I had this ribbing here, and then I added a bit over 10 centimeters to it and an I-cord in here, because it was too short. Maybe now I know that I don't like too short shirts, so I will knit them longer. I knit this in size 2, which is the size that used to be the only size when it was called one size shirt or sweater, but now it is size inclusive, so there are a lot of sizes, and so you can make it really large also. And I knit this in needles 6mm, and in the ribbing and in these I-cord edgings it was needle 5mm. And the yarn that I dyed was this Nordic yarn, Helsinki. It is 100% merino, and it was quite an unfortunate yarn or dyeing, because I managed to felt the yarn, but then I salvaged it or saved it, but it got a bit thicker. It used to be like maybe light fingering yarn, and now it is, I would say, maybe sport weight. But it was okay for this ranunculus and for this practicing project. Now I know much more and I have learned a lot of stuff, but I really like this pattern that is in here, though with this yarn it does, like, it doesn't, you cannot see it so well. If it was just one colored, then you could probably see it better. And I also made a hat from this yarn, but I forgot to take it, but I will go get it now. It's here. First I started to knit it for myself, but as you can see it is quite huge on my head. So now this is Habibi's hat, but I really like this. I knit this with the leftovers from my Lento sweater, the silk mohair, the black silk mohair, and I think it's really beautiful how the color is in this hat. I would like to knit one for myself too, a bit smaller, but I don't have the silk mohair anymore, so I don't know what I'm going to do, because it's the only silk mohair that doesn't itch me at all. The knitting for Olive silk mohair. But so Habibi got this really nice hat. This is a Rikke hat by Sarah Young, and the needles I used were 3mm under here, and here I used 4.5mm needles, but I think that I will have to use smaller needles when I knit this for myself. In the pattern it was 3.5mm here and 4.5 here, but even this is really quite loose for even Habibi, so maybe I will have to knit it in 2.75 or 2.5mm. So and now I'm going to tell you what you see behind me, because there are some of my knits over there hanging on this thing. This is a poncho I knit for myself, maybe 2020 or 2021, and the yarn I used was this acrylic yarn from Hobby. I still have a ball of that left, so it's this basic bulky yarn, and this was just some pattern that I saw from the internet. It's like, I don't remember how did I do this. No, it was these rectangular parts that were knit in back and forth, and then they were joined in this inside here. It goes over here, and there is the seam. Then this used to have a hood, but this was hanging on the wall on my bedroom from the hood, and Kura the cat used to climb on it, so the hood got really stretched long and I couldn't make it better anymore, so I ripped it out and made this color, and there are buttons too, so I can fasten it here like this. Even though this is acrylic yarn, I quite like this. It's just this a bit of warmth and softness, and there is these edges I used in these. I used Hobby Metallico, yes, in blue and green, but it has really peeled. It's not very pretty anymore. And I think I knit this in 7mm needles. The next thing is also an acrylic thing. It's just a basic like this triangle shawl. I think this was the first shawl I ever made. Just knit from, it started here and then it got, longer, wider, and then I added these I-cord straps to the end, so I can put it around my body and tie it there like this. Here. And I like the color. It was, did I write it down? World of Yarn Manarola. I bought it from Hobby too, because then I didn't really know what kind of yarns I like, and I wanted to try different things, and they were quite cheap, so I bought things from there then. And it took 3 balls of that yarn. The colorway is Autumn. I think it's quite beautiful, this colorway. But as I said before, maybe I don't really like acrylic. But I still use it sometimes. The next thing is this one, and some of you might know what this is. This is the first Stephen West shawl I made, and this is the size small of Vertices Unite. And this, I knit this in all kinds of leftover yarn I had in my stash, and some like lone balls of different yarn. And I knit this in 3.5mm needles, as it says in the pattern, and there are 5 different kinds of yarn. This is Vikings of Norway, some of their yarn. It was a sock yarn, I believe, and it was, I don't remember the colorway, but it was this rainbow something, maybe just rainbow. And this black is also the same yarn. These are leftovers from socks of mine that I will show you later. And this was just the same yarn and in black. And then there is Mayflower Easy Merino. This, I don't know, this is purple. It was in Finnish Luumon, which means plum, so maybe it is plum. And then there was this blue in the stripes, dark blue, navy in here and in here. And this green one was Drops Nord, and the colorway was forest green or something like that. And I really like this. I don't usually use this much colors, but I still like it. And the edge is the I-cord is, I started to do it in black here, but then I ran out of the black yarn, so I switched, after this section, I switched it to this plum color, and I think it's quite nice. It is a bit itchy on my neck, but not too much. I can use this as a scarf like this when I go out. And I like using this. And sometimes I use this as a small shawl, like this. I think it's quite nice like this too. And this I knit this September, so like a bit over a month ago. The next thing is this. This is a quite large shawl, and it has pockets. I think this was a nice thing. I have these handkerchiefs in the pockets. And this pattern I got from Lankamaailma website, which is like this Finnish yarn store online. And they have some free patterns also. And I knit this in Hobby Tweed Delight, which has wool and acrylic and viscose in it, and in Hobby Diablo, which is 40% acrylic and 30% mohair and 30% polyamide. So that it has some fluff in it. As a mohair, I don't really like it because now I know much better mohair yarns. But I think this Tweed Delight was the nicest hobby yarn I have worked with, because it has this maybe teal and red, these tweed spots, and it's dark gray. It's black opal is the colorway, and the Diablo was black too. And this is knit in 8mm seed stitch, and these pockets were knit in 6mm needles. But I have used this a lot. It is hanging here over our sofa, and because it's really cold in here in winter and autumn and spring. So I just grab it from there and put it over me, and it is lovely. And this little thing is, it is a tiny scarf. You can use it like this, or on my head like this, or as a belt, as I've used it with this one. I wrap this shawl over me, and then I wrap this belt over here, and it just stays in the right place then. But this is just, I went to Helsinki in the summer, and I bought this Gedi fra Laura, one ball of it. It is alpaca suri, I think, and cotton. Yeah, it is this lovely fluffy yarn, and I just wanted to try it and look what I can do with one ball of that yarn, and this is what I did. But I like this so much that I have bought a sweater quantity of this too, so I think I will make a lento sweater, a more wintry one, which is longer and has long sleeves. So these were these older FOs, and for those who don't know what FO means, it's finished object. So things I have knit and finished. Then I was thinking that I will tell you about another FO that I have finished this autumn, but I don't have it with me because I have given it to someone. It is this Sydänmaa sweater from this book, Minun islantilaisneuleeni, which means my Icelandic knits or sweaters. And I gave it to my Meramor, which means my partner's partner, and in this case it means she is Habibi's girlfriend, and she is just a lovely person, and I really like her, and I thought that this sweater would be perfect for her. So I decided to give it to her, and she had her 40th birthday recently, so it was kind of a belated birthday gift too. And if I know how, I will insert a picture somewhere there or in the middle of her wearing the sweater, because it suits her really well. Yes, and now some things that are on my needles right now, which I haven't finished yet, so they are WIPs, and it means works in progress. There is this one. First, I'll show you this bag that it lives in. It is because, as I told you in the first, or in the 0 episode, that I don't have always the money to buy every little lovely thing I want. So I made this. This is made from an old, like a child carrier, or the sling, like a long piece of fabric that is quite durable. But I've used it here. This used to be Didymos Are, I think. And the lining is an old sheet. But I think it looks nice, and I can use it. That's the most important thing, that I made something that I can use. And these strings are from my pajama pants. They are the strings that you can tighten the pants with. And I have this little frog earrings hanging from them, so they won't go to the holes, and I can grab them there. So I use everything that I can find from my house, basically. Okay, and the WIP is here. Some of you may know what this is. This is going to be a shawl, and it is designed by Stephen West, who is, I think, the most famous knitwear design at this time. And this was the mystery cal or knit along this year. So this is called Twists and Turns. This was the first clue, and these wings here are part of the second clue. I have to still make some things under here and on the other side too. And then the second clue is finished. I am knitting this at my own pace. I'm not in a hurry, but still waiting anxiously to make it, because I think I will love this. I dyed some of the yarn myself. This burgundy, it seems to be more red in the screen, on the screen. This was some merino yarn I dyed myself, and it was supposed to be different colored, but it came out from the pot like this, and I think it is nice. It is quite beautiful. The other yarn that I dyed myself is this one. This was a bit, maybe like not fingering, maybe it's even sports weight, but quite close to that other. And this was merino also. Oh, cats. This was the accent color, and you can see it here. And the third color is bought yarn. This is on the cake, it looks like this. It is Ruskanlehti tweed on the colorway Ruosteinen naula. So it's this really nice silvery gray with these rusty spots in it, or speckles. I had bought this for a sweater, but then I was thinking that I will make something else of it, because it wasn't so good for that project. But so I kind of had to just pick up something that is okay with this project, and so I did, because the other color which I dyed was just so different than I thought, because it was like this really bright neon green, and I didn't want that. But I'll use it for something else. But I think this Ruosteinen naula looks quite nice with this burgundy one. I think this will be a lovely shawl. And this I knit in 3.25mm needles, because I'm a quite loose knitter, so I thought that it would be huge if I knit in 3.5. What else? Yeah, I have this forever project in my very nice GPS bag here. I got this for free from some web store. I don't remember what it was, but this is I just gather all my scrap yarn there, and I started making this Cozy Memories blanket by Shelley Dupont, and I am this far. Not very far, but I think this takes its own time, and maybe it will be done before I die. And I have this project keeper here, and so I know which was the last piece and which is the right side. Yeah. And I need these pieces are in DK weight, or sometimes even thicker yarn, because I don't have fingering weight scraps that much, because I haven't knit with fingering weight yarn very long. So these are old socks. I have frogged some socks, old socks that are they have holes in it, and I are too too worn to be mended, and so I frogged the socks, and some are just leftovers from socks, or in this is I doubled 2 fingering weight yarn here. So I don't know what it will look like, but it will be warm, I hope. Do I have any other? I don't think that I have any more to show you right now, but if you're still here, then thank you for watching, and you can subscribe if you want to, and like the video, and I will come to tell you later about other knitting related stuff. Thank you for watching.